The newly elected district attorney for Wichita County is John Gillespie. John, several of people had questions of you, I know, and you have to answer them, your open door policy, and it will continue to be that way.
That's correct. One thing that I really liked about the campaign was getting to talk to voters, getting to listen to what their concerns were, and I'm going to continue that as I go into office.
Tell me about the process. Someone's arrested, they're charged, they go before a judge or a magistrate of some sort, and then what happens before it gets to you and before it goes to trial or whatever?
The police, whatever the investigating agency is, will conduct an investigation, and they file it with the district attorney's office. If it's a felony, then it goes to a felony prosecutor to be presented to a grand jury. The grand jury makes the decision whether to charge it or not. If it's a misdemeanor, then those are just charged by the DA's office by information.
How long is a case usually set?
It depends on what type of case. It can be anywhere from 6 months to a year or 2 years, depending on the type of case.
Your advice is to always get the advice of your own attorney?
That's pretty good advice, I think.
Okay. And you have what, 16 attorneys working for you?
I'll have 18.
18, my stars. But they're not all on the same case, are they?
Right. No, the DA's office handles everything from felonies to misdemeanors to child protective service cases.
Oh, okay.
We represent the county in civil matters, in civil litigation. So there's a whole lot of different things that the DA's office represents.
I remember, it's been several years back before David Duke was elected sheriff. He and Donnie Johns and all that crew would go to eat lunch together, and they'd invite me to go along every once in a while. And Tony Fideli would always come along. He was an assistant DA at that time, and he just has a love for law enforcement and interest in it. And we had a lot of good visits. And I know that you work hand in hand with our law enforcement agencies.
I absolutely have, and I think that's one advantage I have is having been a prosecutor for 16 and a half years. I know the sheriff, I know the local law enforcement, whether it's the chief of police in Burke Burnett or Iowa Park or WFPD. I've worked hand in hand with all of them for many years, so that's a really good foundation to start off with.
Absolutely, absolutely. Any questions y'all have of the new DA, except how do you get out of jail?
Yeah. I got that get out of jail free card in my pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. No, I don't.
Just don't forget me, John.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but no. He likes 3 square meals when he's in
That's
there.
right, that's right. No, I don't plan on getting there soon.
Let's talk specifically about bond. Someone's committed a crime and you got them under, $1,000 bond? That wouldn't be very much later. Yeah. Say $5,000 bond, some sort of a felony. How much money does it take to get them out? You have to pay the $5,000 up front?
What I've always heard is that it's 10% of the
10%?
amount down is what a bondsman typically asks for. That's what they testify to in court. Anyway.
Okay. How do they get that money back, or do they keep it?
Once the bond is satisfied is when it gets released, so when the criminal case is resolved one way or the other.
So it's released to the bonds company, not to the individual. So if you put up $500 for a $5,000, you may never get it back, right?
Well, that has to do with the agreement between the bondsman and the defendant. Okay. You're getting me in an area I've only done prosecution, so I'm not as familiar with how the bonds that side of it works. But
you answered it pretty good. You did good.
Told me to call Johnny and put up my bond money, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Stay with us, please, on Texoma Country Morning. We're getting an education this morning, yeah.